Leo. It looks like you've got a lot going on. What are you working on?
I don't have a lot going on. I've got a bajillion things to finish. Mrs. Jones gave us an assignment that I was really excited about. That was until... Ugh.
Oh man, that bad, huh?
Not bad, just complicated. Mrs. Jones told us we were going to have a debate in class, which was homework I was actually looking forward to. But then, she gave us the topic.
Ooh, is it something juicy?
I mean, not really. She wanted us to have a debate about where our next field trip should be. We could either choose between a history museum or a water park.
I already know where this is going.
I'll bet you do. When I heard history museum, my hand shot up in the air like a rocket ship. But everyone just looked at me like I had an alien antenna growing out of my head. How can I be the only one who wants to go to a museum? Think of all the cool things we could learn.
Oh, Leo, not everyone loves history as much as you do. And since it's their chance to get out of the classroom, I'm sure a museum is the last place they would want to go.
Apparently. But I'm thinking I'll just join the other side for the assignment and argue for the water park. I don't want everyone to keep thinking I'm some sort of nerd.
Well, you are a nerd. But even so, I don't think you should compromise what you think just to fit in with everyone else.
I know, but I don't like how everyone was looking at me. I could tell they were judging me for thinking differently than them.
That's bound to happen in life. But let's see if we can visit someone who can give us tips on standing up for what you believe in.
Yeah, let's go!
I just need a creative way to transport the characters in this story to another world that doesn't involve a magic wardrobe. Oh, this just might do. Now, who might you be? And how did you manage to arrive in my Cambridge University office in such a spectacular way?
Hi there, my name is Layla, and this is my little brother Leo. We've traveled here from the future.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Clive Staples Lewis. Many just know me by my pen name, C.S. Lewis, but my closest family and friends call me Jack.
Wait a minute. C.S. Lewis? As in the C.S. Lewis? As in the author of the Chronicles of Narnia? Layla, catch me. I think I'm gonna faint.
Leo, pull yourself together. I'm sorry, Mr. Lewis. As you can see, my brother is a huge fan.
It's not a bother, dear Layla. I am truly humbled by all the exchanges I have with those who enjoy my work. It is quite time-consuming, but when I receive letters from people, I feel it is my duty to write them back personally.
So, on top of your books, you also answer your fan mail? You must be writing from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep.
Oh, well, yes. Ever since I was a little boy, writing has always brought me a tremendous amount of joy. Growing up in Belfast, Ireland, my parents passed down their love of reading to me and my older brother Warren. I remember every surface of our house being covered with books.
I love to read too. I love how curling up with a good book can take you to any time and place in history, or even to a totally new world.
I couldn't agree more. My love of reading is what led to my passion for writing. When I was a young boy, I began creating my own stories filled with knights in shining armor, talking animals, and imaginary worlds. Warren and I even created our own magical world that we named Boxen, which was the setting of many of our stories.
Super fun!
Oh, I continue to think so. My brother and I enjoyed a typical childhood where our Protestant faith was very much a part of our lives. We were members of the Church of Ireland, and my grandfather was a minister. But when I was almost 10 years old, my mother passed away, which led me to feel very distant from God.
I'm so sorry to hear about your mother, Mr. Lewis. I can't even imagine what emotions and thoughts you must have been having at the time.
It was a tremendous loss for our entire family. It made me question everything, and as a child, I couldn't comprehend how the God I had grown up knowing would allow such pain and suffering into my life and into the world. A few years later, I turned my back entirely on Christianity and became an atheist.
What's an atheist?
An atheist is someone who does not believe that God exists. When I went to England to continue my schooling, it became my mission to understand the world around me, not through a religious lens, but through a perspective based on logic. which came in very handy when I would spend hours and hours debating my friends about many different topics.
You like to have debates? We're about to have one in school.
I do indeed, little Leo. After I served in the British Army during World War I returned to Oxford University to finish my studies. And then I began to teach, where debate was a big part of my everyday life. I then met a group of men who opened my eyes to different points of view. You might have heard of one of them, J.R.R. Tolkien. He's written a series of books called
The Lord of the Rings! You are friends with the author of The Lord of the Rings? Seriously, Layla, back up and catch me. I'm gonna faint for real.
So sorry again, Mr. Lewis. My brother is literally in heaven right now.
I'll let Tolkien know that you enjoy his work. I quite enjoy it too. And that's what our group did. We would meet and discuss each other's work.
I would have given anything to be at one of those meetings. I bet your conversations were out of this world.
Yes, our discussions had a huge impact on me. Many of my colleagues, who were the most intelligent men I knew, were also Christian, and I couldn't understand how they could be both logical and religious. But I learned that you can indeed be both. It was then that I stopped being an atheist, got down on my knees, and prayed. It wasn't an easy journey for me, but I thank Tolkien for bringing me back to my faith.
Like my mom always says, good friends are hard to find. Sometimes we need them to tell us things we might not want to hear.
Indubitably, and I will forever be grateful for their guidance. With my faith back intact, I started weaving my Christian beliefs into my writing. I also wanted to try to inspire others to turn toward faith by including characters and themes where Christianity was subtly introduced, but where the readers had to make that connection for themselves.
Wow, so you use your stories to share your faith with others in an indirect way. That's very clever.
Why, thank you. Conversely, during World War II, I also made radio broadcasts giving religious talks, which was a very direct way for me to share my Christian views throughout the entire United Kingdom. This not only made me known to more people, but also increased my book sales.
It sounds like you are winning in all areas of your life. Your faith was strong and your pockets were full.
Oh, my heart was definitely fuller. I donated most of my earnings to various charitable causes, specifically to families in need, to young people wanting to attend college, and to church ministries. I also made sure that my donations remained anonymous.
How come?
Because to me, dear Leo, it was not about wanting to receive attention for being generous. The only thing that matters is that the people who needed help received it.
That's a great point. A lot of people like to show off how generous they are. But our Sunday school teacher taught us that giving should be so low-key that even your left hand doesn't know what your right hand is doing.
Exactly, Miss Layla. It sounds like he or she taught you well. Aside from my donations, I also felt that my writing was the best way for me to serve God by spreading his message to the masses. When I published the first book in the Chronicles of Narnia series, I attempted to do just that, just like I had done with some of my earlier works.
I can definitely see that now. I remember reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in school.
And how there's good versus evil, and how Aslan the lion is just like Jesus. I see it now. I love the entire series. When we get home, I'm going to read them all over again.
Why, thank you, Leo. I appreciate the praise, but not everyone agrees with you.
You mean to tell me there are people who don't like your books?
Of course. I faced many criticisms for my books being too Christian. This caused so much disapproval that I was often passed up for promotions.
That's totally unfair.
But wouldn't it just have been easier for you to stop talking about your religious beliefs? You wouldn't have gotten so much heat, and you would have gotten your promotion.
Ah, that would have been easier, Leo. But my faith was more important than me being liked. I wasn't going to compromise what I believed in just to fit in with everyone else. I had already turned my back on God once, and I wasn't about to do it again. I was proud of being Christian, and I wasn't afraid of who knew it.
See, Leo?
Okay. You were right. You see, Mr. Lewis, I'm getting ready to have a debate at school, and I'm all alone in what I think. I was thinking about just joining the other side so they wouldn't judge me, but that means I'd have to compromise my beliefs.
And what are you thinking now?
I'm not going to give in. I'm going to represent what I really believe, just like you did.
Even though picking where to go on a field trip is nowhere near the same as standing up for your religion, I think Leo's getting the point.
Yes, no matter what the scenario, it is always important to stand up for what you believe in, even if you're standing alone. You never know who you might inspire with your bravery.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. You have inspired me today. I won't be backing down.
My pleasure, children. And remember how Peter felt in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. He did not feel very brave. Indeed, he felt he was going to be sick, but that made no difference to what he had to do. Be brave, little Leo, and safe travels to the both of you. Good luck on your debate.
Well, how did the debate go?
Oh, the water park ended up winning.
Bummer, but why do you sound so cheery about that?
I'm proud that I didn't cave on my beliefs when it could have been really easy for me to do that. Some of the kids even ended up agreeing with some of my arguments. I couldn't help but think of Mr. Lewis.
That's awesome, Leo. Now, I think we should give you a new nickname. Leo the Lion, just like Aslan, the fearless leader of Narnia. And just like Mr. Lewis wrote, wrong will be right when Aslan comes in sight. At the sound of his roar, sorrows will be no more.
That's right. I'm Leo the Lion. Hear me roar!
If you'd like to time travel with Leo and Layla again, please visit PragerUKids.com and watch more of their adventures.